Welcome everybody, home team live, and I'm Dr. Raul Serrano, my beautiful wife Jessica, and we're excited. You know, we come and we do these every single week, Mondays at 2 o'clock live, and we do this for a few reasons. Number one is we want to support you guys, encourage you guys, and we really just want to navigate the spiritual, mental, and physical challenges that come with raising a healthy family. So that's why we're here. There's no catch. There's no, we're not selling you anything. We're just sharing our lives and what we do because we really do have a passion for people and for families. So as people come on, a couple of them, I'm just gonna kind of review what we've been doing the last few weeks. So 3 weeks ago, we started our program, or a little mini series, I should say. It's called Revamping Your Family's Nutrition. And week one, we talked about fats. We talked about good fats, and we talked about the importance of the good fats. So if you missed that, you can go back and check that out. Week two, we talked about the sugar issue. How do you start changing the sugar and reducing the sugar in your life, in your kid's life? And today is one of the most important episodes, is proteins. And before we get going, if you've missed any of these, what we're going to start doing is on YouTube, we're going to take all these videos and we're going to put them in categories in different segments so you can go back and watch each series. And so that'll be on YouTube. It's going to be Ignite, Chiropractic, and Wellness, our YouTube channel. And you can go in there in the next couple of days and start seeing these videos all in one place. So if you miss any, you can go back. So today's proteins, we're going to get started.
And beforehand, just funny story. This happened literally like 5 minutes ago. I was just telling Raul about it. I'm upstairs brushing my hair, and Aria's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, little did you know, Aria, when you guys go to sleep for quiet time, like Mommy and Daddy do like this little show downstairs on the phone." And she's looking at me like, "What?" She's like, "What do you guys talk about?" I said, "Well, we talk about healthy families and how to be healthy." And she kind of looked at me and she's like, "Why are you brushing your hair? I thought Daddy just did that stuff. You know about that stuff too?" And I was like, "What in the bro?" I said, "Who feeds you, Aria? What do you think?" I was like, "Yes, I know some of that stuff." So it's just funny, you know. Daddy's the doctor in the house, but I think Mommy knows probably just as much health at this point.
Absolutely.
So,
and by the way, Aria's our 5-year-old, and she just this week, you were telling me yesterday, they were buying shoes or looking at shoes.
Yeah,
what happened? Can you tell that story?
Oh, so, you know, growth spurts. When you have a house of 3 kids, it seems like we're buying clothes constantly. So Aria grew out of her size 9. We're in size 10 now. So we're getting her her new shoes. And I said, "What is going on with you kids? Like, you're having these growth spurts. What have you been eating lately?" And she said, "It's the good oils." You are awesome.
So the point is, for me, when she told me that, it's like you instill these things in your kids now so that they can start making the right and the correct choices later. So proteins, let's jump in. We talked about sugars and carbs, or excuse me, carbs and sugars, and we talked about fats. So those are all energy sources. Your body uses either fat or sugar for energy. It doesn't really like to use proteins for energy because proteins, here's my little demonstration, are the building blocks for your body. You use your sugars and your fats for energy. You build your body with proteins, just like Legos. So what happens? If you have the big Legos and the little Legos, you cannot put these two together. They don't match up. What does that mean? This is the same thing you want to do with your proteins. You want to have proteins that are healthy, which means these are the proteins that are going to build the good healthy cells, not the ones that don't match up and allow your body to build healthy cells. Everything from your skin, your muscles, your any tissue, and connect any tissue in your body, every cell needs proteins, and more specifically, when the proteins break down, they break down into amino acids. That's the building block of every cell, every tissue in your body. So that's the importance today. So yeah.
I guess the question is, because Raul does a lot of shop at the docks where he takes people through Publix, and I know when they get to the protein or the meat aisle, there's always a lot of questions as far as what we buy and what you can get, especially at places like Publix. It's convenient. So what do you usually tell people as you go through like the chicken and the poultry, the beef?
Yes.
What are the things they should look for?
So when you're putting proteins into your nutrition, into your diet, for me, what I always teach is this is the most important step, because yes, this is where I would say this is where you spend your money. Don't spend your money on organic fruits and veggies. Save your money there and spend it on the proteins. So what you're looking for is, in the poultry section, you're looking for things that are free range, that are organic, that they're not putting hormones in there. Because what happens is, if they put, if they're not free range, they're feeding them grain, antibiotics, hormones, and those things build up in those animal tissue. And then when you eat that, guess what you're eating? Hormones, antibiotics, all the damaged toxins and proteins. So when you're taking that in, you're not able to build the healthy proteins that you need to build.
Right. One of the sayings that we say a lot in our house is, you are what you eat, but you are what you eat eats.
What you ate.
What you ate.
No.
And we were just at my aunt's house, for Easter, and it was just awesome. The kids were running around chasing chickens, and they were just free-range chickens running around, eating the grubs, the insects, and it was just really cool to see that in action. So.
Yeah, and they went and they got a couple chicken eggs out of the coop over there. So it's just neat, because that's the way it was intended to be. So with chicken, you want free range. You want to have, preferably, if you could get non-GMO'd, free-range, organic chicken. That's kind of the best of the best. When it comes to beef, you want beef that's not conventionally raised. Once again, if it's conventionally raised, it's given hormones, antibiotics, grains. You want beef that is grass-fed, and if you can find grass-fed, grass-finished, it's even better. So grass-fed for the beef, grass-fed, grass-finished is better. And then the next one's fish.
Let me go back to beef real quick, because a lot of people ask me, so of course that's a significantly higher price. Yes, because it's that much better in quality. So when you are at Publix, expect to pay between $7 and $8. I know the Super Targets carry a really great line of grass-fed beef, including grass-fed steak. So just be on the lookout for that.
And one of the things that what we do is we locally source it. So there's a farm here in the Tampa Bay area. There's several. I mean, no matter where you live, you can do this. But here locally, we have a farm that actually delivers to our office. Every other week, we go online, we put our order in, and they deliver to our office. So if you do bigger orders, it goes down, the price goes down. It could go down to like $6 a pound, which is great for something that's that high of quality. So that's just another option. For the meats, is to get locally sourced. The more you know about where your meats are coming from, the better it is. Sure. And I could put a comment with that website if you're here locally and you want to order through them as well.
Okay, so then I think we did poultry, beef, and then fish is another.
Yeah, fish is a big one. We go out and we're at restaurants, and when you're in a restaurant, people will say like, well, I did great today, I ordered fish. Well, my question is always like, did you ask, is it wild caught? Because if it's not wild caught, it's farm raised, and if it's farm raised, guess what they're feeding it? The same thing they're feeding, the grain and corn that they're feeding the cows, that they're feeding your chicken. It doesn't even make sense that everything in the food chain would be eating the same thing. So they put antibiotics in there, they put hormones in there. So once again, you're getting all those bad stuff into your nutrition. So
just look for those wild caught words on the label.
Wild caught fish is what I would be looking for. And I think that's the basic. That's where I would start. I wouldn't get too overly complex here. It's 3 basic changes: poultry, free range, organic, non-GMO'd, organic preferably. With the beef, grass-fed. If you could get grass-fed, grass-finished, it's even better. And then with the fish, you go for wild caught. Those 3 basic changes is where I would start when it comes to your nutrition. And this is where I would spend my money. Like we said, I would rather you not get the organic veggies and fruits. Spend your money here, because these are the building blocks. Remember, these are the things that build your bodies and your health. The other stuff, it's your energy sources. You're going to burn through some of that other stuff, but these things are building blocks. So 2 last things. Some other alternatives besides the poultry, the fish. I know some people do lamb, all that kind of stuff, bison. But we also do a lot of like nuts as protein. This one happens to be raw almond. We also do some beans at home. Alternatives, like some nights we just have vegetarian meals, so we're not into that heavy,
meat all the time. And then a big one that we do a lot, the bone broth. So our kids literally used to have bone broth tea parties. So
yes, we did.
Besides drinking bone broth and like soups every day, we do have a bone broth protein powder that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So then the number one question is, of course, how does this transfer into your kids' lunch boxes? So what kind of protein are we packing? Because we do not do cold cut sandwiches, lunch meats, things like that. So if you are a mom and you're going grocery shopping, if you want to take out a pen real quick, I'm just going to list off some of the things that we pack probably on a weekly basis. So I have these written down. Nuts, we do a lot of raw nuts, sprouted nuts, soaked overnight. The almonds, we put those in the lunchbox, make homemade trail mixes. Those are great for snacks. I have peanut butter rice cakes. We get that peanut butter or raw almonds, make sure there's no added sugar, added oils in there. We do that on rice cakes, or I put a little thing of it with some apples. Bean dip or hummus. That's a really simple one to pack with some veggies. Homemade meatballs, my kids are obsessed with them. Those have a lot of vegetables in them as well. No breadcrumbs, just great grass-fed meat. We have, in the thermos, we use the thermos sometimes when I have leftovers from the night before. That's great. They have grass-fed hot dogs now. I know that's a lifesaver. Just to cut some of those hot dogs up, make a bunch for the week, pack those in their lunch boxes. No buns, but just the hot dogs. Turkey pepperoni, and then of course beef jerky. They do have grass-fed beef jerky just at your local Publix. That's great, or even turkey jerky. So that's how we get our protein in on the lunch boxes. Guys,
Last 3 weeks, we talked about revamping your family's nutrition, and I don't believe we talked about anything that was hard. We talk about there's lateral shifts and then there's vertical shifts, right? A vertical shift is difficult. That's like saying, hey, you're eating ice cream. Instead of eating ice cream, I want you to eat broccoli now. That's a big jump, right? That's a vertical shift. What we've tried to do over the last 3 weeks is give you lateral shifts. We're not saying don't eat meat. What we're saying is, hey, instead of getting conventional meats, right, just make the lateral shift to the non-conventional meats. That's something everybody could do. We didn't say with the oils, right, the first week, we didn't say, hey, don't ever use oils. Oils are great for you. But, okay, from canola oil, make the lateral shift to olive oil and coconut oil. When we talked about sugars, we didn't say, don't ever eat sugar, right? We said, hey, if you're using sugar to sweeten things up, make the lateral shift to stevia, xylitol. You can use the medjool, the dates. So everything we talked about was making those lateral shifts that you can really start revamping your family's nutrition. So guys, as you're watching this, give us a thumbs up, share this, and next week we'll be back with another great topic. We'll answer all your comments, all your questions throughout the week, and we just love this. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Awesome.